Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey, it's Johnny Mac with 4 good news stories and 1 not so good. Gotta update you on Bobi the dog. Remember Bobi the dog that was 31 years old? Well, Guinness says that they no longer have the evidence needed to prove that Bobi was as old as claimed. In a statement, the Guinness World Records say that they had concluded it no longer has the evidence it needs to support Bobi's claim as the record holder. It had been claimed Bobi was 31 years, 5 months, a dog's life spanning about 220 years if you convert to human years. The previous record holder was Bluey, an Australian cattle dog who died in 1939, aged 29 years and 5 months, so I guess Bluey is back to being the record holder here. Right after Bobi was crowned, veterinary experts asked, yeah, you sure here? Online photographs of Bobi in 1999 suggested he had different colored paws to the dog that died in Portugal last year. Skeptics pointed out, although Bobi's age had been registered on Portugal's national pet database, that was based on the owner's self-certification, and they only started shipping pets in 2008. Genetic testing established that Bobi was old, but not exactly how old. Danny Chambers of the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons said that of the 18,000 members of the Veterinary Voices group that he runs, not a single one of his colleagues believed Bobi was actually 31 years old. He said, that's the equivalent of a human living to over 200 years old, which, given our current medical capabilities, is completely implausible. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. No concrete evidence has been provided to prove his age. Mark McKinley of GWR says, we take tremendous pride in ensuring as best we can the accuracy and integrity of all our record titles. Following concerns raised by vets and other experts, both privately as well as within public commentary, and the findings of investigations conducted by some media outlets, we felt it important to open a review into Bobi's record. All right, while I've got you here for this bonus episode, let's see what else I could tell you about. An Olympic equestrian medalist has been sidelined for wearing risque mankini. An equestrian may have jeopardized his spot at the 2024 Olympics after he wore a Borat-like mankini during a recent event. Shane Rose has been sidelined by Equestrian Australia for wearing the outfit during a show-jumpy fancy dress event at the Wallaby Hill Extravaganza. Darren Gosher is the chief executive of Equestrian Australia. He told the Sydney Morning Herald that complaints were made over Rose's outfit. He said there were concerns raised about it. Whether it's one complaint or 1,000, we have an obligation to review it. We received a letter with concerns, and it was also sent to Sports Integrity Australia. We have an obligation under our code of conduct to review if that happens. He hasn't been sanctioned, and he hasn't been suspended. He's been stood down from the competition while we review, and we've committed to getting the review done this week. I'll keep you updated on that, huh? Shane told the Herald, my phone went nuts, no pun, after the event, with people laughing and things, but I've been told there was only one lady, and I think the words she showed were concern, not a formal complaint. With a bit of luck, this will all be a laugh in a few days. We can all move on. I wore a costume, which you could see at a theme park or a beach. Potentially, no one has done it on a horse, but there you go. I think I'm a good person, and I do a lot for the sport and for people in different situations. I don't feel like I've done anything particularly bad. In hindsight, I should have rethought what I did at the time, but I thought it was a bit of fun. Hopefully, in a couple days, we can all move on. The first ever prosthetic limb that allows the wearer to sense temperature and feel the warmth of another person has been created. It's called the MiniTouch device that allows amputees to perceive and respond to temperature. It works by transmitting thermal information from the fingertip of the prosthetic hand to the wearer's residual arm. Using the device, an Italian man who's been an amputee for 30 years has been able to differentiate between hot and cold objects with 100% accuracy. That's awesome. Fabrizio said it was a very strong emotion for me. It was like reactivating a connection with someone. The long-term goal here is to make a system where the user can tell if something is soft or hot or hard and cold. They aim to offer a richer and more natural perception of the tactile world. That's great. Alaska Airlines flight attendant Amber May has had a couple weird requests over the years. Recently, she was asked to keep some flamingo eggs warm. Via statement, she said, a passenger rang the call button and asked if I would keep some eggs warm. The passenger turned out to be a zookeeper from Seattle. She was transporting 6 flamingo eggs in an incubator, but the incubator stopped working with several hours to go on the flight. Flight attendant Amber May filled rubber gloves with warm water. The zookeeper used that as a makeshift nest to keep the eggs warm. May continued to supply water-filled gloves as needed throughout the entire flight. A few months later, May received a call from the zoo and was invited to name one of the flamingos. She chose Sunny, which was also the name of her granddaughter that had recently been born. May and granddaughter Sunny were invited to come see the flamingos, and baby Sunny got to meet her namesake up close. Good news, if your iPhone got wet, you may have heard the hack where you put it in a bag of rice. I've actually done that and had that work, but Apple says, no, don't do that. Okay, Apple, I'll listen to you. What's the deal? Because I did the rice thing and it worked. Those of us crazy people that believe the rice thing say the hope is that the grains will absorb the water and restore your phone working condition. However, an Apple support note explicitly warns against this hack. Always listen to Apple over Johnny Mac. Apple says if your phone notifies you with liquid detected in USB-C connector or similar notifications saying something along the lines of charging not available, you should not put the device in rice, all right? Don't do that. Apple says that could allow small particles to damage your phone. Presumably, these small particles are rice. The company also advises against using an external heat source or compressed air to dry your device. Like, sometimes you might know some stupid person who's used a hairdryer on a phone. I mean, what kind of idiot would do that, right? I mean, you'd have to be pretty stupid to try that, right, Apple? Also, don't insert foreign objects into the connector. What's a foreign object? A paper towel or a cotton bud. I don't know what you thought it was. Apple recommends unplugging any cables from your device and waiting until they are completely dry. Tap your iPhone gently against your hand with the connector facing down to remove excess liquid. After at least 30 minutes, try charging it. Apple says if the alert continues to pop up, it's worth leaving your phone in a dry area with some airflow for up to a day. Let me just save you some time. You're going to wind up at the Apple store. They're going to be all nice to you. They're going to take it in the back. They're going to come back and tell you your phone is fried, and you're going to wind up buying a new phone. How do you know that, Johnny Mac? Maybe that's happened to me. Who knows? But if you think I tried a hairdryer, you'd be crazy. You'd be stupid to do that, wouldn't you? That's your 5 good news stories for today. Or 4 anyway. I guess we'll have to see who the oldest living dog is now. Get on that, Guinness. All right, that was a bonus episode. I'll be back tomorrow on our normal Monday, Wednesday, Friday pattern. Just wanted to let you know about Bobi. See you in the morning.